Good day, Minecraftians. PurpleMentat here, bringing you the start of a brand new series. I am in the Purple Garden Pack to play on the Purple Patron server for those who support me on Patreon and StreamTip. As you can see, it is a very small pack. It is focused around Garden of Glass from Botania and a handful of the cosmetic mods and such, which allow for really cool looking stuff like this. This is our little spawn area, and the really great thing about this spawn area is Garden of Glass, which is an add-on for Botania, making it a skyblock made by Vazkey, adds a command block command, which is being activated by this pressure plate right here. As it says, get your own island today, step up here. All you need to do is step on this plate or run the command block command in whatever way you prefer. We're using a pressure plate redstone signal to trigger it, and it will generate for that person a brand new island and give them a Lexica Botania. They will have a mana flash, as well as everything that you would normally get by starting the map on single player, a long way away from anyone else. Now, I have a particular way that I like to start this. As you can see, down below there are living roots. If you're unfamiliar with Garden of Glass, the very first thing you should do is open up the Lexica Botania, click on Basics and Mechanics, and read through Garden of Glass, as well as the other general basic tutorials. I've already done this on my own time and will be skipping over it for now. What I am going to do, though, I'm going to start digging down a bit. Now, there is some water right here. You want to be careful you do not accidentally divert that water in an unfortunate way. If the water touches the living root, then the living root is going to break. And unless you're right there to collect the items, you're going to lose them. Now, I know that I'm going to want to get the grass platform to be on the same level as this water. That's my goal at the moment. I'm going to dig through this top layer here. All but one block is going to be removed. Ooh, actually, the grass is already spreading, so every block can be removed. Fantastic. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hold Shift and right-click on either the dirt or the grass, and you will sift through it to find pebbles. You take 4 of these pebbles, you can combine them to make cobblestone. I'm going to spend a little bit of time here gathering some cobblestone, because I've got a fair bit of food, and I'm not too worried about rushing myself. If I rush myself, well, bad things might happen. So we're going to spend our time, we're going to get a good amount of cobblestone built up, and then we're going to use that for our start. As you can see, it's very quick to get yourself to a point where you can easily make 16 or more cobblestone. I am going to gather at least 2 stacks of this right off the bat. Huh. I must be in an ice biome. That froze. That's interesting. Yeah, I am in ice plains. That was unexpected and potentially unfortunate. Alright, this means that for my plan to continue, I'm going to have to wait until the morning, because I need this to stay unfrozen, and it is too far away from this light source to stay unfrozen. So I have to wait for the sun. In that case, we'll return soon. There we go. Dawn on a skyblock. Now, if we just punch this ice, it'll replace itself with dirt, and because it's not nighttime, it will not freeze again, even though there's nothing here to keep it unfrozen normally. As you can see, we gathered quite a lot of... And 2 more makes 40. There we go. Pebbles overnight. Cool little trick that you can use, and I don't know if this is added by inventory tweaks or is natural to the game, but I know that I can do it with inventory tweaks, and that's the only way I play. If you hold up and click on something in your inventory, it goes into your crafting grid. If you hold down and click on something in your hotbar, it goes into your crafting grid. If you hold up and click on something on your hotbar, it goes into your inventory, and down from your inventory into your crafting grid. It works all the way around as well, with down from the crafting grid into your inventory and up from the crafting grid into your hotbar. So, very, very useful when you're quick crafting things that require stacks. Like so. There we are. And then you can also hold left click and drag to evenly distribute that stack over as many spaces as you are currently using. You can also double-click on an item in your inventory to pick up as many of that item as possible. There you go. A little bit of quick inventory management tips. And we have 5+ stacks of cobblestone, which of course means that it's time to go water walking. We're going to stick our nose out of this side of the water pillar, just enough to see without being enough to actually leave the pillar so we can still swim up and down, target the bottom of this living root, and put down some cobblestone and start building our platform towards the water. There we go. First potential death avoided. Fantastic. I like not dying. And now we're going to do the safe and smart thing, and we're going to surround the water of the pillar of water with cobblestone on all 4 sides so that I can easily make sure that I do not accidentally fall off when I'm trying to land on this platform. Now it's just a case of hold shift to live and build out your platform. Bam, bam, bam. Fantastic. And like so. And then like so. Now, if you're someone who on skyblocks tends to fall off the sides and die a lot, you're probably going to want to be conservative with how many of these living root you break early on. Myself, I tend not to fall early, I tend to fall late when I get less cautious. So I'm going to go ahead and break them all and gather the living root items that I can get from them. Wow. That was unexpected. I thought it would only freeze during night. Alright, so if you're in a winter biome, you're going to want to make sure that you get your water with a block over it. Let me show you how to prevent water from freezing even in a winter biome. However, this is convenient because it means I can easily gather the dirt from underneath the water source without a bunch of mess spilling out and potentially destroying my living roots. So give me just a second here and I'll be back up top with all of the grass, well, all of the dirt from underneath gathered, as well as the living roots. Once you have all of your dirt and living root collected, I managed 32 living root out of what was down there. I do not believe that is a constant, though. You will have a variable amount of living root available to you. All you need to do is build a couple of blocks up and 1 block over. Water will only freeze in an ice biome when it is exposed to the open sky. So now, that water should no longer freeze. And actually, I want that bit, and I want to replace it with a bit of cobblestone and some grumbling. And I want to do the same thing on this side. Yeep. Come on. There. And the reason for this is because I'm going to want a big, square, flat area of grass for some of what comes next. But the very first thing that we're going to need to do in the next category is make ourselves a sapling, which you can do with 4 living roots. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and make 2 of them to speed this up a bit. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bunch of the cobblestone that I have to make myself some nice tree growth platforms. My preferred tree growth platform has 3 blocks away from the dirt. And if I want to be really technical about it, I would want to drop down here and make certain that this block, which is where the dirt is going to be on top of, it has a cobblestone bit underneath it, so I can very easily retrieve that dirt when I want to. I should also likely make myself an easier way to return up top, but I'll do that once I have some wood to work with. There we go. So that gives me 3 blocks worth of space around the tree where I will be able to collect the saplings and apples that can drop from the leaves. There we are. Apologies for any strange audio artifacts or fan noise or static that's coming through. It is still August when I am recording this, and during the summer months I really need the air conditioner running in my office. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to purchase for myself a Whisper Quiet Specialty AC specifically for the office to eliminate that particular noise from production. 3, and that's going to be where the dirt is, so let's get back down there. Whee! Careful with that, by the way. When you drop off onto the cobblestone, you're going to take some damage. When you take damage, it uses hunger to repair that damage. So you're going to have to be careful how many times you go about doing that, or you might end up running out of food a little bit too early. And dirt goes there. Oak sapling there. And 2, 3. Square this off. And then the same on the other side. Nice. Now we can go ahead and leave this to grow and finish this out later in just a moment. And let me make sure the dirt... Okay, we've got a good selection of dirt still. It helps if you don't misplace things. 1, 2, 4, 5. Alright. 4. Oops. Okay. And then we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Giving us a nice 5x6 area, which is almost big enough for floral fertilizer to take full effect. Now, what I'm going to do at this point, honestly, is I'm going to wait. Waiting is going to be one of the most beneficial things that I can do. The best thing that I can do right now is to sit back, relax, put on some music, watch a TV show on the second monitor, something like that, and just let the grass grow, and let the trees grow, and be patient. So, once some time has passed and patience has manifested results, we shall return. Alright, the grass has mostly grown. We still have a couple of places that I'd like to let it spread, but we have our first tree, which is very, very nice. Now, go ahead and punch down the oak leaves, and go ahead and break down the tree trunk, whichever method you prefer. There's absolutely no difference. Saplings have a 1 in 20 or 5% chance to drop from oak leaves. This is, I believe, regardless of biome. And it does not matter if you punch them down or if you wait for them to decay naturally. Leaves will decay when they are further away from any wood blocks in the world than 3 blocks, or if they are not connected by other leaves to the wood blocks. So if you have a trunk in there, then none of them will decay, but as soon as you take out the trunk, they'll all start to decay. And as soon as you break around the trunk, the leaves will start to decay. Luckily, we got 3 saplings out of this, so I can show you one other important mechanic that Garden of Glass adds. If you are truly unfortunate, and your Lexica Botania is lost to the void, all you need to do is go over to your mana flash and right-click on it with a sapling to get a new one. So, if you happen to fall off the edge, or what have ye, you have a way to replace what is lost. Now, if you are not the patient sort, and you cannot wait for your trees to grow, the living root can be used like bone meal. As you can see, I suggest against using this on your sapling. Instead, wait for your grass to spread and then use it on the platform, because you're going to want the seeds that you can get from punching long grass. And the dandelions and poppies are also very useful in Botania. Garden of Glass adds 2 potential seeds to what you can get out of your long grass. Long grass will only grow on grass blocks when you use a bone meal, which is why you want to wait for at least most of this platform to be covered. Bone meal does have about a 7x7 range, so ideally you would like more dirt than you have here, but you don't have access to more dirt at this time. And I am getting extraordinarily unlucky with my grass picking. I have not found a single seed yet. That is unfortunate. Anyway, I'm going to keep working on this for a bit, and I think that, as you can see, I've been building up a larger and larger supply of cobble as time has progressed. I think that it's time to put a little bit of a ledge railing around this, a place where I can stand near the grass so that I don't have to fall off accidentally. I would really rather not die if I can avoid it today. And it's time to start getting some basic crafting together. I'll continue to grow grass and farm seeds later off camera. What we're going to do very first thing, get ourselves some oak wood, make ourselves a crafting table, and then use that crafting table to create a furnace with some of the cobblestone that we have been farming up. Yay, hot topic. And then we're going to cook 2 of our, actually 2? 3 of our oak wood into charcoal using 2 of our planks. Because 1 plank will cook 1.5 items, might as well get the most out of it that we can. And the rest we're going to turn into sticks. Because I might as well, since I have access to it, make myself a stone axe and a stone pickaxe. I'm not going to make a stone sword yet, but that's definitely something I'm going to be needing in the near future. And then we can make a couple of torches. Well, small handful. Because our platform is big enough that if we were to stand in one corner of it, it might start spawning mobs. Now, if you place a torch here, you're not going to quite cover everything. But when you put a torch on that side of the tree, you will. And then if you put another one right here, all you need to do is get one next to the water on this side, and you have this entire area covered. Next, you put one here, and now your entire platform, except for the top of your furnace, cannot spawn mobs. And all you need to do to fix that is move the furnace somewhere a little bit closer to the lights. In fact, if we put it next to... yeah, there you go. Fantastic. So you can cover your this entire platform with just 5 torches, and the center of the platform, honestly, you should never be out of range for spawning on that. Now, the reason you might want a stone sword early is you want to have an endless supply of bone meal as quickly as possible, and the best way to make that happen is with a monster spawning area. That's right, get straight into spawning some monsters. Unfortunately, it is a much better idea for me to wait until I have a little bit more wood before I build myself a monster spawning area. So I'm going to spend some time picking flowers. Because I can turn living root directly into floral fertilizer. 1 living root makes 1 floral fertilizer. By the way, if you want to craft everything that you can hold on your mouse cursor right like that, you right-click the result. And this floral fertilizer works in roughly the same area as bone meal, creating mystic flowers on both grass and dirt. So if you want to get started on this process while you wait for the grass to spread, go ahead. You don't need to worry about only having dirt for this portion of events. Now, the most important flowers at this stage in the game are going to be the white flowers. There's nothing we can do directly with them just yet. We need to get some more resources together first. Huh. That's an issue. I have too much cobblestone in my inventory to hold all of these flowers. Well, I can handle that because we can turn this into cobble and we can throw away the rest. And we can let some cobblestone sit on the ground. And then I'm going to go start building to use up some of this cobblestone, get it out of the way. So, what we're going to do, we're going to start building this direction. If we want monsters to spawn, we need them to be 24 blocks away from us. If we want them to move, they need to be closer than 36 blocks. And if we want to stop them from despawning, I don't remember the exact distance that is, but it's quite a distance a ways. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build a 3 wide, 24 long platform. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to light it as we go so that we don't accidentally have monsters between us and our spawn point. The last thing that we want is to take a couple of unfortunate skeleton arrows and get knocked off. Now, this is a good demonstration as well. You can see that these 7 blocks are covered by the "Oh no, monsters can spawn here," which is given to you by NAI by pressing F7. If I plant a torch here, I can walk forward and I can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 have been cleared. Which means if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and put it here, well, the middle is all cleared off. But the sides, well, they are a little bit further away. So I know that I need to move the torch 2 closer to get rid of those. It's going to take me a total of about 4 torches to cover the entire distance that I'm going to be going. So let's go another 8 spaces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe only about 3, actually. 3, 4, 5, 6. And because we had the torch right next to that tree, the light level was high enough for it to grow at night. Fantastic. Let's go a little bit further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can safely do this because we are within 24 blocks of the nearest block that can spawn monsters, meaning that while we are this close, it cannot spawn anything. Now, we know that if we put a torch in the center, then it needs to be within 5 blocks this direction, laterally, the long direction, from this one. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put one right here to demonstrate that the ones on the corners are still not quite right. And we're going to need our last torch right there. So now our entire walkway is monster-free and cannot spawn anything. All right, I'm going to go chop down these trees. Ooh, nice. Oh, you can hear that there are monsters on the platform below. Not a problem. They can't get up here. Well, spiders maybe, and skeletons, if they're standing in exactly the right place, might be able to shoot up here. But it's not a worry. It's nothing that's going to really affect you. So whatever you do, don't panic. That needs to be in bright green letters on the cover of whatever you're working on. Now that we've got a couple of more trees, we can make 2 chests, which will allow us to easily start storing some of our extra stuff. A shift control click will transfer all of a single type of item from your inventory into whatever chest inventory you're looking in. And there we go. Now we have conserved our things. So I'm going to spend the rest of this floral fertilizer, chop down some trees, gather some saplings, and do a little bit of grinding. And then when we come back, we're going to build ourselves a little mob closet out there. See you soon. Okay, we've gone through our 15 floral fertilizer and gotten a nice selection of mystical flowers. This will be a good enough to get us started. So while we are getting started, let's go ahead and jump straight in, shall we? I'm going to need 4 mystical white flowers to turn into 8 mystical white petals. I'm going to want to turn some more of my oak wood into charcoal, which will just, it's going to be slightly inefficient to burn 6 oak wood with 1 charcoal, but it won't be the worst bit. So, where are we at? Now, we're going to make ourselves 2 Botania-related devices. First of them is... Ooh, more wood. Yay. First of them is the pestle and mortar, which I am doing wrong. How am I doing you wrong? Ah, like that instead. Here we go. Second among them, we're going to need to make some cobblestone slabs. And you know what? I'm going to want a good number of these anyway for what I'm about to build, because it'll be more material efficient and it'll be more aesthetically pleasing to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to build like that and like this. I thought, hang on, I need to look up the petal apothecary. I love NEI. Right. I forgot we need a petal in there. So let's go and grab our most abundant petal, which I'm going to use the cyan flower. We're going to turn that into petals, so I put it in our crafting grid, and we'll put some cyan petals back into our chest. What I'm doing here is I'm creating a nice 4x4 grid, because there are 16 colors of flowers, which means 16 colors of petals, and I'm going to keep them organized this way until later on when I have access to better organizational tools. So let's get that there. We're going to need 2 slabs and 4 cobblestone to create our petal apothecary. Now you might be wondering, how am I going to fill a petal apothecary without a bucket? If you know anything about Botania, you know that one of the most important parts of the petal apothecary is getting water into it so it can do its job. Well, Garden of Glass adds the ability to fill a bowl with water by right-clicking on by right-clicking on a water source block, and then you can put it into the petal apothecary. Yes, this is totally intentionally abusable, and you'll be able to do fun things with that later when you want more water available. Ooh, tree. So, the big problem here is at the moment I still have no seeds. I have to have seeds if I want to be able to use the petal apothecary. I don't want to spend my last few living root on trying to create more seeds, especially now that I have access to all this cobblestone from the time that I've been waiting. So what I'm going to do, well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a nice little railing here to stop myself from accidentally wandering over the edge. And because I don't want to spend a ton of torches on this railing, and also because I believe that it is an aesthetically pleasing option when you have a railing, you know what? Let's not waste any land space. Let's go ahead and make the railing like so. Yeah. Around the whole little area that we have so far. What you can do is you can put a cobblestone slab on top of a block, or if you place it on the bottom side of a block that already exists, like if you point to the side of it and you move to the bottom half, it'll place on the side at the bottom. Inherently, monsters are unable to spawn on top of a slab like this, as long as it is on the bottom half of whatever block you are using. And, in my opinion, having a cobblestone slab on top of a cobblestone block makes for a nice little cobblestone fenceway that doesn't actually 100% block your view, so you don't feel like you're walking through a claustrophobic tunnel like you do if you have just a plain cobblestone wall here. For example, if I were to do that. That, to me, is a lot uglier than this. I like it a lot more. You do have a couple of other options, though. You could, if you wanted to, make your cobblestone slabs the only thing you use for your fence, which some people prefer, or you have the option to create proper cobblestone walls, which are made like such. Let's go ahead and grab a few of them. I'm not actually going to be using these because, but I do want to demonstrate the option. Since this pack is so aesthetically minded, I figured I'd show you a few of the aesthetic options while I go. When topped with the cobblestone slabs, it does create a nice look to it. When not topped by the cobblestone slabs, it's very smooth, and this counts as a 1.5 blocks tall, so you cannot walk over it even if you had step-up boots. And I believe that I cannot jump onto it either. No, I cannot. Fantastic. So, what do I like? This is kind of neat. I think I might actually, you know what? I think I might fill in a 5th line of this and put in the cobblestone walls, but that's all aesthetic work. I'll do that on my own time. Just wanted to show you the options while I was thinking about them. Down here, what we're going to want to do is we're going to build ourselves a little area where we can easily kill some monsters. And what we're going to need to do for that is we're going to need to start building up a bit. Let me think, how exactly do I do this again? I believe that I need a platform, and I'm going to want a slab. Let me poke around a bit. I know I want a 5x5 platform. Or maybe 5x3 this time. Might be a little safer that way. And I know I want a solid wall around it. And I want one space where I can easily get in and stab at the monsters. No, that doesn't do it. I think I remember what ended up doing it. If I have a half slab here, then I can see directly over. That is what makes it perfect. Okay, so you want a half slab at the end where you can step up. And you're going to want to build out your platform. Yeah, let's do the 5x3 that I was talking about. That should be small enough that I can easily hit everything. Large enough that I should get a number of monster spawns. Hopefully, it is a server play, so who knows how many other people are already doing this. Well, actually, I could find out, but I'm not going to at the moment. If you want Endermen, which we do because they shouldn't be able to get out with the system that I am building, then you're going to want to make sure that the wall is 3 high internally. That's 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to want to top it with slabs. The reason you're topping it with slabs is you don't want anything to spawn on top of your creation over here. You want them all to spawn inside of it. Now, this is a very basic mob closet style spawner. It's not going to spawn a ton of a ton of monsters. Let's go with monsters, not mobs. But it is going to give you enough that you should be able to get some skeletons relatively rapidly. And that will get you bones, and that will get you bone meal. And that way you don't have to spend your living root on something as simple as bone meal when you can create a stone sword and a monster closet effectively for free. And I haven't even gotten a single apple drop yet, but that's okay. This is going to help with that too, because while zombie flesh is not the best thing in the world to eat, it will keep you from starving. It'll take a lot of it, but that's okay. Now, the way you finish this thing off, besides like so, and allow things to begin working the way you want them to, you're actually going to want to take out some of these blocks and instead build along the bottom a bit. I'm going to show you why in just a moment here. And now we're going to take out this side. Excellent. Hold shift to live. Don't fall. Hope you're not afraid of heights. And to keep things 100% safe, we're going to go ahead and build a bit of a railing there, and the same on the other side. This will keep them, well, 90% safe. Let's go with 90% safe. Yeah, I like that a little bit more. And now you just build like so. And you finish it off with some slabs. Here, whoops, not there. If you have 2 slabs stacked up, when you break the block, it will break both slabs and you can recollect them. You put them like that, and then oh, I did not go quite high enough, did I? Nope. The internal was supposed to be 1 higher. That's what's going wrong here. Okay. I knew something was off. Hang on, I need to raise the whole platform a bit. Alright. Moved everything up 1 block, except for this bit here. So the internal and the wall is all raised 1, and there's still 3 blocks of internal space. Now, as you can see from the yellow X's, this is not actually spawnable terrain during the day. Well, that's not quite right. And with a whole block of space here, it's very easy for things to see me through here. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to block off half of that space with slabs. And now, especially if I come in already up a block, things for the most part won't be able to see me when I'm walking in. And then I drop down and can fight the monsters and back out a bit if I need to get away. By repositioning this torch or placing slabs all the way inside, you'll have plenty of room to work with and lots of places to move around. So, there's our monster spawner. The only thing that we should need to do to get monsters to appear in there is to move over here for a moment. And hey, what do you know? We have we have some trees to cut down anyway, as well as, well, there's a lot of monsters underneath me, aren't there? On a multiplayer server, if you ever want those monsters to go away, all you need to do is log out for a moment, and they'll be over 100 blocks away from any other player. the chunk that you are in will likely not unload instantly, and they will likely disappear almost instantly. So it could be worth your time. However, if we look down there, you can't actually see anything moving because it's very dark over there. By the way, I upped the brightness to about 65%. I don't like it on fully bright, but I realized I had forgotten and left it on moody, which is poor YouTube material. When it's on at least a little bit below fully bright, you can still actually see some of the differences in lighting, which I think can make for some neat cosmetic effects. There we go. See, there's some creepers there already, a couple of zombies, and because they don't actually have line of sight to me... Wow, that's loud. Hang on. Thought I'd turn them down, but I guess I didn't turn them down nearly enough. Actually, I had not reduced the volume on hostile creatures at all yet. But because the creepers don't actually have line of sight to me, they won't explode. And there we have it. A little bit of food, a little bit of goodies, and if we get in there... Ooh, look, a potato! That is fantastic. You might need to clear things out and walk in there to get your drops every occasionally. It's hard to actually make sure you have enough room to get everything. But yeah, now we have a source of food, and with a little bit of time, we should also have a source of bone meal. The 26 seconds of hunger, well, the 30 seconds of hunger that you can get from eating zombie meat, it's not fun, but it should still end up a net positive in terms of total food intake if you eat them slowly. Or if you eat a whole bunch of them all at once, then the hunger will only reset to 30 seconds. It won't actually continue stacking a longer and longer duration. Taking care of the monsters below is about to become a priority for me. But before I do that, I'm really going to want access to some sort of ranged weaponry. Like a bow, maybe. And the hunger's not a guarantee. So as you can see, I definitely gained hunger on that. Then all you need to do is run back, run away, run back, and more monsters will spawn. If you want to make a larger spawn area inside, that's definitely doable, and might even be a good thing to do, because it's going to spawn more monsters and you'll have more to work with. Unfortunately, this is a very small spawn location, but we don't have a lot of options to work with at the moment. If we had better ranged weaponry, that'd be a different story. What we're going to do in the long run is definitely build a proper auto-killing system, but that's going to be way down the road. Now, I don't know if the potatoes will actually work as the seed for the Petal Apothecary. It's definitely an experiment that I want to try, but what's really important at the moment is we get them growing, and the easy way to do that real quick is use more stone and sticks, make a stone hoe, and any dirt block that's within 4 spaces, both north, south, and east, west of the water, that's on the same level or 1 level below, you can till, and it will be hydrated. So that will grow as fast as it possibly can right there. For the resources that we have at the moment. Of course, later on, there are other, better options. Yep. I am not getting lucky with monster spawns, but that's okay. Alright, I'm going to do some aesthetic work, I'm going to let things grow, I'm going to let things spawn, and we'll return shortly. Alright, we're just about out of time for our first episode, but I figured I would show you all a kind of supersized version of the monster spawner I just had. This is only to be used if you, like me, are impatient with monster spawns and like to live dangerously, because this is something that could very easily lead to creeper explosions and skeleton arrows in your face. We're gonna have to deal with those monsters down below. Easiest way is actually gonna be to break that block and let the water flow. And then, come morning time, we'll be able to do something about it. I hear spiders down there. Anyway, we'll deal with that in the morning. So, what we're going to do now, we're going to be able to move quite a bit away, and then you can already see that there's monsters in there. Potatoes are almost done. Love Wayla giving me the exact percentage, but I think I'm going to move that off to the corner. Let me think. There's an option to do that, but I don't 100% remember what it is. Is it in... Let's see. Mod options? No. Options... Controls. Well, let's scroll all the way down and see Wayla. There we go. Wayla config screen. Default numpad 0. Helps if you turn your numpad back on after using mouse keys. So if we click Wayla, we'll be able to configure aspect, and we can drag this to where we want it, which I like having it in the upper right-hand corner. There we are. Much better. Out of the way, but still where I can glance over and see it as needed. Fantastic. Now, as I mentioned, it's going to be a little more dangerous here. Ooh, there's a spider in there. Spiders will slowly shed spring. They will slowly shed string. Words are hard. It was like that breaking ice turns into dirt comment from earlier in the episode. Anyway, as mentioned, we're about out of time here. I'm going to spend some time between episodes farming some monsters to get some bone meal, and then using that bone meal to increase my... Oh, you know what? I thought having this here would be enough, but apparently it's not. Darn, that's a shame. We're still going to need to go inside every now and then to pick up some of the drops. Not what I wanted to find out. You know, I'm terrible at these monster closet designs. I know that they are a popular vanilla thing, and that there are ways to make them really nice, but I'm not the guy to look to for those. Instead, next time, I'm likely to have a significant food supply thanks to the potatoes, the trees, and the furnace. So, we are going to get a bunch more cobblestone together and build something a lot nicer than that. You'll see next time. Thanks very much for joining me. Hope you have enjoyed this episode. If so, leave me a thumbs up and tell me what you liked. If not, leave me a thumbs down and tell me what you didn't. Except for the time. I know that I went way over what I should have for the duration. Hope you are not too upset with that. So, either way, if you'd like to see more of this series, please click subscribe below so it shows up on your YouTube playlist every day. And either way, I'll see you next time.